today with Mr. Justin Branden at Keller Williams. So thank you for having us and taking an hour out of your day to spend with us and speak to our students all across the Panhandle. So today we're going to kind of just hit really what's your goal? What's your plan? Do you have a plan? If that plan were not to work out, what would be your plan B? It's kind of the direction we're going to take with this conversation. So first of all, kind of share your job story. What do you do to earn a living?
Okay. So I'll start there. I'll start with what I do instead of what's my goal, because that's changed over time.
Okay.
But what I do for a living is I just kind of help out with the onboarding and the recruiting here at Keller Williams. That's how I started out in this business, and now I'm full blown into real estate. Anything from single family to first time home buyer to luxury to farm to ranch to commercial, whatever it is, that's what I do. My real estate background is pretty deep. Started probably back when I was about 11 years old in California. Learning how to read a map to drive through Los Angeles with my dad. My dad's also in real estate as well. So so what I do here is I just help you get into a home, help you build your dream and find your path to wealth, because real estate really is the fastest way to wealth.
Yes, it is, absolutely. So what led you to your career here? Like, what was, because your background was not real estate driven.
Yeah, no, so plain and simple, I'm a country boy. Southern Louisiana, Southern Mississippi. We played football, we drove jacked up trucks, and we hunted. That's what we do. So my first aspiration in life was to go and be a Navy SEAL, right? That's what everybody down south, you're in the military, right? So I didn't think that, I was going to be good enough to get into college and play football. And then my senior year, I actually started getting scholarship offers, Went to a very small school in Mississippi. I graduated with 100 people, and we were the first class to ever receive scholarships to go play ball. Luckily, the junior college 15 minutes down the road was the #1 junior college in the nation for sports.
Wow.
And I signed my scholarship there. I redshirted my first year. We won a national championship. The following year, Hurricane Katrina hit. My family was then moved around. Like, my parents moved to Texas. I stayed back in Lafayette. And then from that, I ended up getting a scholarship to University of Louisiana. Again, my parents were displaced to Midland, Texas. They worked for the post office in New Orleans, and after Katrina, it was just hey, here's where you can go, right? I have some younger siblings, and my little brother wanted to play football for Friday Night Lights.
Oh.
So
that was a great.
Yeah, see you later, bye. I'm staying in Louisiana, right?
It was not your goal.
Yeah, so things were looking good. I actually did really well playing college ball. My IQ, like, you take a Wonderlic score your junior year, my Wonderlic was supposedly off the charts, and my football IQ was just off the charts, and all the scouts were coming to me, man, why'd you go to junior college? Because, cognitively, you're all there. And I was like, man, I just went to a small school, and, you guys didn't hear about old Justin Branden sitting in Picayune, Mississippi. And they're like, okay, well, then I asked them what my scores were. They wouldn't tell me. They said, well, we'll tell you when you declare for the draft. I was like, all right. He said, all we want you to do is get faster. So this is for all your athletes. I ran a 4.37 in the 40. I was 203 pounds, and I had 3% body fat. So
that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. So for your athlete that's thinking, I'm going to go to the NFL, like that guy that's sitting in class not doing any work right now.
Right.
Get your perspective in order.
That's right.
It takes some work, and a string of luck, really.
Right.
So my senior year comes. I'm playing football. The very last game of my senior year of my career, I tore my labrum in my shoulder in the second quarter. Didn't know it, played through it. That's one of the things about D1 football is, like, you just play through it. And I woke up the next day and I could not get out of bed. Like I literally couldn't lift my shoulder off the bed. And that was in December. I had surgery in February. So I was walking around like this for 2 months. Had surgery in February. Couldn't do my senior pro day. Couldn't accept my invite to the combine. Just a lot of things that I had planned my entire life to do. I could not do those things. So, the foundation of my identity back then was football. So now who am I without football, right? At that point, I did not have a backup plan. I figured, you know what, I'll move out to Midland. My parents are there. I'll rehab my shoulder. I'll finish up school whenever that comes along, really not worried about it. And I got into the oil field. I started making a 6-figure salary, seeing all over Texas and parts of the country. And school just kind of took a back seat. And next thing you know, I'm out of the oil field with all the boom and the bust. And then I'm selling homes and for a builder out in Midland, Odessa. That builder moved me to Amarillo. So I'm in Amarillo 10 days before Christmas. Within 6 months of me being here, that builder was like, hey man, we can't afford you in the budget, gotta let you go. So I just moved my entire family away from their family to Amarillo to now I have no job. So I took that time around Christmas just to kind of let the dust settle and figure out what I was gonna do as the head of my family. And my wife was like, you should really get your real estate license. Because if you get your real estate license, nobody can take that away from you. Like, it's yours. It's your own business. And I was already in real estate, but I was just working under a builder, and you didn't have to have your license in the state of Texas. So what I did was I started taking my classes, and I attended a career night here, kind of figured out what it would take to become a realtor and what the business of it actually looked like. And I got a job offer for one of my old managers to go to Schumacher Homes, which is the #1 custom builder in the nation. That job was in Shreveport, Louisiana. So we moved from Amarillo, Texas to Shreveport, Louisiana with 2 babies. Really no help because my family is southern Louisiana. We consider Shreveport, Arkansas, right? So
For Texas.
yeah, Texas, Arkansas, it's not New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
So we're sitting there and about 6 months go by and my wife, we had just had our second kiddo, and my wife started getting what they call postpartum depression. And I asked her, what do we need to do? And she's like, I want to go back home. I was like, okay, we'll go back home. I said, but I will not go back to Odessa. I'm sorry. So she loves Amarillo. I love Amarillo. We have our church family here, and we ended up here. So we came back, and I immediately went to work at Gene Messer Ford. I have a background in car sales before the oil field, so I went to Gene Messer, had some buddies over there, started working, and while I was there, I ended up going back to school, finishing my undergrad, got my bachelor's in sports and exercise science, and finished off my last semester and a half while I was actually here at Keller Williams. So it's been a
You have
journey.
to grind
Oh yeah. Yeah,
every
'cause
step of the way.
we added another baby to that too, so.
I love
yeah.
that. Should have big families.
Oh, yeah.
So, that was not the easiest journey.
Not at all.
So, what would you change? How could you, you had an injury that you couldn't have foreseen, but if you could go back and maybe go from point A to point B instead of point A to D.
Right. If I could go back, I would take more control of my education because, and this is just sports in a nutshell, what you do on the field, that's all the coaches really, most coaches, that's all they won't care about.
Right.
I did not have one advisor or coach on a big level say, hey, this is what you need to do, or hold you accountable to some things. It was kind of just like, hey, yeah, make sure you pass your classes, meet you on Saturday. But I would take more control of my education. I would take more control and more responsibility of the things that I could control, right? Actually graduate on time. I should have graduated in 2008, December, maybe 2009, May, and I was still 2 years out when I got done playing football.
Wow.
So, yeah,
That's significant.
significant, big time, because when I went back to school here at WT, I had 60 hours to finish, right? So,
But also, that's an incredible testament to if you want it and you put your mind to it, you can do it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Because you had a family, you worked, and you went back to school.
and I don't think I would have appreciated it prior to, without going through those struggles, without going through, okay, so I was single for a while, making good money, enjoying life, and then wife and kids, and losing your job and not having the income, and trying to figure out how to make odds and ends meet, and without I got really lucky having the people that I have in my life that say, hey dude, pick you up by your bootstraps, let's get to work.
And you had some mentors.
Really good mentors that I still talk to daily. So you've got to have those people in your
How do
life.
you get a mentor? If a kid were without maybe stability at home, or maybe were without a father figure, how do you get a mentor?
I mean, you're not going to get it by sitting at home, right? You're not going to get it by being in the same circles that you're in. If you want to see where you're going to be in 5 years, look around you. You are the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I'm not saying like you and I sitting next to each other most time. I'm talking about the influence that they put in your life. If you're following somebody on social media, if you're texting somebody that's always negative or always talking about things that they don't have and they never had and they won't have, you're going to start to go down that rabbit hole. We call that the law of attraction. What you bring into your life, what you put out into the universe, that's what you're going to get. So I've been lucky to have a mindset of positivity and of just reaching my goals, right? So yes, I have big goals. We talked about that question at the very beginning. I mean, I want to have a ranch here in Texas. I want to have a ranch in Mississippi, Louisiana. I want my real estate business to have 3 or 4 different brokerages, Panhandle, Louisiana, Mississippi, and my dad lives in LA, so I'd like to have some kind of real estate going on there. So I've got really big goals.
Do you meet those just sitting on the couch?
Not at all. My typical day, if you want to talk about breaking it down on a micro level,
Yes.
I start my day with little goals because I want to win the day. I don't want to win the year, right? I mean, if I win the day, every day, more times than not, then I can consider myself winning the year. So when I wake up in the morning, my alarm goes off 4:30. Typically roll out of bed, I get my sea legs under me around 5. The first thing I do is I make my side of the bed. I do some push-ups and things like that just to get the blood going. I go drink a glass of water, and then I go out to my garage where I have my little gym set up. I do some stretching, I do some squats and things like that, kettlebell work. And then I go from that and I read whatever book I'm reading at that time. I try to get a chapter, and right now I'm reading Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey.
Oh,
Amazing, right? I mean, it's phenomenal.
I've read some of it.
Oh, it's good. It's so good. So I'm reading Green Lights right now. I'll listen to a podcast if I'm in the middle of my workout. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to work out instead. I'll listen to Bigger Pockets or Think Like a CEO. Just podcasts like that are growth mindset.
Yes.
I'm into CrossFit, so I'll read the Excellence podcast by Ben Bergeron. So these are the things that I do really to start my day.
And that just starts your mind off with success.
With
really.
winning, yeah. I mean, there's a certain attitude, there's a certain aura that comes from somebody with a winning mindset. It's contagious, it's palpable, you can feel it. They're not in a somber, sour mood. Their energy is good, so that's what I want to put out into the world. So if I put that out into the world, that's what I receive, right? And you've got to be aware of your energy givers and your energy takers, because if you're spending your time around a lot of energy takers, that means you're the energy giver, right? And you can't give from a cup that's not full. You should be pouring into yourself, filling your cup, and that overflow is what you give to other people.
Absolutely.
Right. So, I start off with those micro wins, and then by the end of the day, when I'm picking up my kids from school or we're doing homework and I see my kid, get 8 times 8, 64, you know what I mean? I'm like, those are the little wins that at the end of the day, right? I'm just like, all right, man. And I lay down and that's my day. And I can look back and in my journal, I journal throughout the day. And in my journal, I can say, when we started the day off as this. And in my journal, I like to write off 3 things that I'm thankful for, 3 things that I can get better at.
Count your blessings.
Exactly. And 3 victories that I had that day. So that's really how I like to frame my day. And then at the end of the year, when everybody's doing New Year's resolutions, I'm just saying, hey, capped off my year.
Yeah.
I probably fell a few times, but I got up and here we are.
Sometimes that's the biggest part of the victory. Is
There's no growth from being here all the time. If you look at, I'm 34. I like to think that I'm old just because I'm tired. That's what it does. So I look back at my life through all the things that I've been in, and my major periods of growth have come from when I was in the valley. Not when I was up here. Not when I was winning national championships. Not when I was, running crazy 40s or closing multi-million-dollar deals in the oil field. It was when I was at the bottom looking for a way out and saying, okay, Justin, dust yourself off.
When you really examine yourself.
Big time. You got to know who you
Trials.
are.
That's right.
You got to know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, get around some positive people that are going to speak life into you. Not the people that are going to pick out your flaws. Get around the people that tell you can do it. And if you want to go to the NFL, cool. All right. Hey, let's shoot amongst the stars, right? Because we'll land on a planet. So go for it. If you don't go for it, don't get down on yourself.
Be ready to do the work.
Yeah, and be ready to do the work. And if it doesn't happen, reevaluate yourself. See where you are and see what you can contribute to someone else that's trying to do that. Say, man, you know what? I did this, this, and this, and I studied this, and I trained like this. This is kind of where I think I fell short, and this is where I can help you. Because then you're still growing. You're still in a growth mindset, and you'll be shocked at how many people that I've talked to that are on a professional level that I played football with or did something at some point that are like, hey man, I'm just calling you to kind of get your idea about, sleep. What's the research that you just did on sleep? What's that paper? Can you send it to me? One of my good friends is the strength and conditioning coach at the Minnesota Vikings. And we talk all the time. He's like, man, I'm just not sleeping right. And then I get to tell him, this dude that's talking to NFL athletes all day, like, yeah, you just need to do this. So
I love that, sharing your wisdom. There's so much, I tell our kids and I tell my kids, because in our world, it's community driven and it's volunteer driven. And when our kids succeed, it's their turn to pour back into their community. That's just what we do, right? You just give back. And I love that you're giving back doing this. And
you just never know, right? You don't know who you know.
That's right.
Because when you walked in here today and I was walking you through the office and one of my agents walked through, you go, hey, you know what I mean? You don't know who knows who. Right. Be kind to everyone, because in the long run, it's going to make an impact.
Absolutely.
You really don't know who you know.
The circles always connect.
The circle definitely connects. I'm a small town boy who ran into one of my high school buddies who's being a nurse up here right now during COVID relief. Like I told you, I graduated 100 people. So out of all the places in the world where she could be at right now, she's at BSA Hospital doing COVID relief.
By the way, my mom was born and raised in Picayune in the kiln. So we'll talk about her family story. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh my goodness. I actually worked at a horse stable in the kiln.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Their family farm was there.
Yeah.
Okay, so in middle and high school, what were your dreams? Was it ball? Did you have a job?
I had a job at Circle G Rod Stables in Picayune, Mississippi. But my dream was, honestly, I just wanted to graduate high school. I really had a high school girlfriend, right? She was my high school sweetheart. I just thought, get out of high school, go to college, go to the military, go to work.
Gotcha.
The
military has not been in your, but you've mentioned that several times. You took a totally different route.
Totally different route, because when I tore my labrum in my shoulder, I couldn't do anything for SF. I talked to the JAG on campus and he was like, man, you know, when you heal your shoulder up, come back and talk to me. Like, okay, so then I like just went out into the world and went to work, you know, and just never looked back. Then my roommate ended up being a Army recruiter who's now the godfather to my kids, you know, and he was like, yeah, no, you're not going to the military. He's like, I'm doing it for both of us. Yeah, so yeah, it's been a wild ride. I mean, we could talk all day on that, but we're gonna go back to this.
So you're talking to kids from a lot of different walks of life, and all across the Panhandle. If they wanted to be a real estate agent, and they're a junior or a senior, what do they need to start doing right now? Like, what's a career plan they could follow to make that dream happen?
Well, the first thing is come hang out with us, right? Come to Keller Williams, hang out. We've got interns from your group that come up here.
Shadow.
Shadow.
Every single CEO I've spoken to, every interview we've done, that's been the number one, shadow and get a mentor.
Yeah, because you might get up here and spend 30 minutes and realize, dude, people suck. Like, people are not nice. You're spending $600,000, like
all of a sudden.
Yeah, all of a sudden, your pastor's a whole different person, right?
I don't want to know that.
so it's just one of those things where get into the world, right? I mean, if you're talking about football, these athletes, right? All these guys are playing ball, they're into the world. They kind of see what it takes a little bit, but you don't know until you're on that professional level. So come into the office, we've got 160, 170 realtors in this office. Go out with a realtor. There's somebody in here that has an open house or that will take you on a listing appointment or take you on a buyer's representation agreement, show you how to do a comparative market analysis on a home. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, you know, and a lot of people are watching Netflix and Bravo and $1 Million Listing and Ryan Serhant, which he's awesome. I love him to death. But it's those that you just see the glamour, right? There's a lot of hang-ups on you. There's a lot of no's, but you know, through all that, there's breakthrough. So get out there and kind of see what it takes. If you know you want to be a realtor, like if you know you want to get into real estate right now as a junior or senior in high school, or maybe you just want to have that as a backup, start building your network. Because at some point, all your buddies that you're sitting next to right now are going to be looking to buy a house, are going to be looking to do something with real estate, be the expert that they go to. Man, I remember, you know, Justin back in high school was always talking about, you know, an acre or 640 acres is a section, and he must know something about real estate, right? Be that person. Stand out. Make a name for yourself. Start getting familiar with the different styles and designs of homes and the neighborhoods and the new things that are coming out. Start talking to your local city hall, chamber of commerce, see what's being built. Like, I bet a lot of people don't know that there's like a Hollywood movie kind of area being built out here that they're going to use for Hollywood movies. Like, they're going to do studios and stuff. So Amarillo College and the Board of Regents there are actually looking at the crossbar to actually kind of clean that up a little bit out there by the river as a movie attraction for like westerns and stuff like that. And they're building a huge studio downtown for Amarillo College. Yeah. See, so like get out there and start digging in a little bit, because people are going to be looking for that local expert. People are going to be looking for people they like to do business with, right? So come on down, come see some houses. We do tours. We do tour of homes on Wednesdays at 9. You're more than welcome to come to that.
So if they want to, so come in shadow, and then what does the school piece look like?
So it's online or it's in person, right? The online is obviously the more accessible way because you don't have to take away time from school, and it's right there on your, the partnership we use is right there on your phone. And it's 6 courses, it's what they call 180-hour credits, and it will take you anywhere between 6 weeks and 3 months to finish it, right? Because it's all self-paced. The fastest I've seen it done is 6 weeks. The longest I've seen it done, me, was like 3 years, right? So yeah, I just chop away at it, you'll get it done. But yeah, knock out your courses. Now we have a discount code where the courses are, you know, $200 and something bucks, but I believe if they're in your program, the school board covers it. or something of that nature, right?
So check through, go to your counselor's office. And
Go to
find
your
out.
counselor's office, talk to your group, junior achievement, pro, whoever it is. The school board actually will cover it. I know we've got a couple of students right now that are under the age of 18, but they're taking their courses. They'll be 18 by the time they graduate, and the school's covering everything.
That's
right? And you're talking
such a great
about
district. Like, they're so blessed. Our kids are
really,
so blessed.
yeah. I was blown away when I heard they were doing that. So I mean, because you're talking, that's about between $1,200 and $2,000 investment that they're pouring into each kid.
Do y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Do you hear that? Take advantage of that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
If anything,
I bet
I mean,
nobody paid for yours.
No, exactly. Yeah, I came out of pocket every dollar.
Yeah.
And I can tell you exactly how much I paid, right? And how
Yes.
much time I spent on it. So take advantage of that, guys. And even if you don't aspire to be a realtor, as your primary job, you can at least have it in your back pocket.
If it's paid for, what an incredible plan B.
Exactly. And if you really want to know what commissions look like for a realtor, how much money they make, what splits are, what a capper is, the real nitty gritty of real estate, just come to one of our career nights. We draw it up, we put it on the board, we give you documents that say, hey, look, this is what it's like to be a realtor, right? Because, you think about a commission and everybody thinks I sell a $200,000 house, man, I make a whole bunch of money. Well, you make a split,
Good.
right?
Yeah.
You make a 6%, and then that gets split between buyer and seller. So then that goes from $12,000 to $6,000. Well, if you haven't capped yet, you make 70% of that, which is $4,200, and 30% goes to your broker until you cap. I can go into all of it.
But you're not getting the whole 12.
But you're not getting the whole 12, not yet. You'll get the 12 after about 10 homes, and so, yeah. It takes a little bit of time, it takes a little bit of work, it takes a little bit of grinding.
What are the main components, personality-wise, characteristics of a realtor?
So we give you a personality assessment. It's a Keller personality assessment. It was actually developed by Baylor. It was developed by Rice University and a few other Ivy Leagues that we use strictly in Keller Williams. And it spits out your personality after you take it. I can send it to you. You can take it and we can kind of go over it. But we've got all different types of personalities in real estate. The main ones you see are me, the hot eye, if you're in a disc personality, or the tiger in a bolt personality. We just see shiny things and we go to it and we love people, right? Like we can talk to anybody.
Your degree's public relations.
Mine?
No, mine.
Oh yeah, well see, I'm like, I could be there, but that's kind of like my thing is you can be that high I personality, but you can also be a high D, where you just get things done, where show me the baby is what one of my buddies said. I don't care about the labor, just show me the baby, right?
Yes. Results.
Results driven. And they are just as, if not more successful in real estate than the other personalities, right? If you're reserved, guess what? There's different areas in real estate that don't have you talking to people face to face, right? We have teams up here where you might just be a transaction coordinator, or you might just be getting the contracts done, or signing and delivering paperwork. There's so many different aspects of real estate. So any personality can be great in real estate.
I love that. So there's something for everybody.
Something for you really
And
don't
it's
know.
huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It's insane how big these teams are and these companies are. There's a thing about real estate that once you get so big, you can actually take that book of business and sell it like a product and say, I'm done, right? Say, hey guys, look, I'm gonna go ahead and retire. Here's my company, right? And I've seen it. People purchase them for a lot of money. So
It's a true career.
it's a true career. And at Keller Williams, we have it set up to where profit share is, once you've been here and you're fully vested in, your profit share continues to come. So if you decide, hey, I'm big time broker now, I'm a billionaire broker, I'm gonna do my own thing, we're still gonna send you that profit share at the 21st of every month.
Wow.
So you get a check that just
You
keeps
gotta
coming
work.
to you.
None of that's just given.
None of it's given. Yeah,
Not
you gotta
laying
put
on
in
the
the
couch watching
time.
Netflix.
No. Yeah, you can try to. What are they doing right now?
You're getting up at 4:30 in the morning. waiting for your
Everybody's
son.
trying to do trading right now, or some Forex or something. Yeah, hey, power to you. But have a good foundation and something that's reliable, right? Real estate's always going to be here. Yeah, as long as there's a piece of land that someone wants,
Somebody's got to sell it.
somebody's got to sell it.
So, one piece of advice to leave our kids with today, or you could give two if you can't break it down.
From me to any kid listening, don't ever take someone else's objection as your downfall. Stick to your guns, pick a goal. If you truly believe in it, keep people around you that believe in it more than you do and go after it. There's going to be times where you fall. There's going to be times where you say, man, I don't think I can do it. That's why those people are there. That's why you have your circle. That's why you have your counselors. That's why you have your teachers, your friends, your cousin, your mom, whoever it's going to be, lean on that person. And don't let anybody take your dream away from you. If you want to be a rocket scientist, go for it. It's going to be hard. Do the work. So that's all I got.
I love it. Do the work.
Do the work. I mean,
So important. Surround yourself with positive people. I loved what you said. I think my biggest takeaway from this interview was, if you want to know where you're going to be, look around you at the 5 people.
look at the
beside you.
5 people around you.
That's powerful.
Look at the 5 people around you. Open your phone, and this is that you can do this with your students. Open your phone. Who do you talk to the most? Look at your favorites. Out of those favorites, look at the conversations you have. Are they energy givers or energy takers? If they're energy givers, the fun part about this exercise is you've got to realize you're either matching their energy or you're taking their
Where's your
energy.
place?
Exactly. So it's a real reflection on yourself, on what do I do for this person? Because that's what it's about. What can you do for someone else, right? Me only gets you so far. It's when you start helping other people that you start to see things multiply, and you start to see the fruit of your labor, right? I mean, I can do stuff for me all day, but it's when I talk to you about the internship program or junior achievement, or I talk to you about, coming and shadowing with me and showing you real estate, or I ask him about video technology, right?
Right.
Once you start to teach something, that's when you know you've got it. If you can teach it to me, guess what? Like, you got it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Justin, I thank you for your time.
Thanks for having
I
me.
love this interview.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.